On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Palindrome.
A word, phrase, or sequence of characters that reads the same backward as forward, such as race-gar or level, of medicine and genetics, a sequence of DNA or RNA that is the same when read from 5' 5', denoting ends of DNA or RNA, to 3 on one strand and from 5 to 3 on the complementary strand.
Examples:
Palindrome phrase. Palindrome number. The word deified is an example of a palindrome, where it reads the same backward as it does forward.
Backward.
At, to, or toward the direction or place that is behind or rear.
Examples:
Walk backward. Backward angle. She falls over backward when she sees her mother-in-law.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
A tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Mum.
A British term for mom or mother, adjective, failing to speak or communicate when expected to do so.
Examples:
Mum's cooking. Keep mum. My mum always knew how to comfort me when I was feeling down.
Kayak.
A small, narrow boat traditionally used by the Inuit people for hunting and fishing, which has a covered deck and is propelled using a double-bladed paddle.
Examples:
Kayak adventure. Kayak paddle. We're planning a kayak trip down the river next weekend.
Qualified.
Officially recognized as having completed a training course or passed the exams that are necessary to perform a particular job.
Examples:
A qualified doctor. Qualified in medicine. We seek a person qualified for the post.
Bold.
Brave, daring, and confident, not frightened of danger or afraid to say what you feel or to take risks.
Examples:
A bold design. Big, bold piano sounds. The effort to alleviate climate change needs bold action.
Difficulty.
A condition or state that causes problems.
Examples:
The degree of difficulty. Difficulty in breathing. He has difficulty exercising because of a back injury sustained in an accident.
Contradiction.
The assertion of the opposite of what has been said, opposition, denial.
Examples:
Contradiction of capitalism. Apparent contradiction. His statement was filled with contradictions that made it difficult to take seriously.
Comedy.
A genre of dramatic entertainment that aims to amuse and provoke laughter by depicting amusing or ludicrous situations, characters, or events. The use of humor, wit, and satire in writing, films, and other forms of entertainment.
Examples:
Comedy series. Romantic comedy. I love going to see live comedy shows with my friends.
Pathological.
Relating to or caused by a physical or mental disease or disorder, extreme or abnormal in a way that is harmful or unhealthy.
Examples:
Pathological liar. Pathological condition. The doctor was concerned that the patient's pathological fear of germs impacted their daily life.
Shyness.
The quality or state of being worried or embarrassed about meeting and speaking to other people.
Examples:
Lose some of my shyness. Shyness barrier. He finally overcame his shyness.
Virtual.
Being actually such in almost every respect, existing in essence or effect, though not an actual fact.
Examples:
A virtual image. Trading of virtual currencies. She is the virtual president of the company.
Mute.
Silent, not speaking or unable to speak, not expressed or articulated.
Examples:
Mute button. Mute sound. The actor played a mute character and had to rely on facial expressions to portray his emotions.
Esteem.
Great respect and approval for or a good opinion of someone.
Examples:
Esteem for the other person. Boost my self-esteem. He is our loyal customer who should be held in high esteem.
Microphone.
A device that converts sound into an electrical signal used for recording sounds or making the voice louder.
Examples:
Microphone cable. Built-in microphone. The interviewer asked him to speak into the microphone.
Span.
The entire length of something, such as time or space from beginning to end, the amount of space that something covers.
Examples:
The span of a bird's wings. The average lifespan. He slightly modified the span of training because it was just before a match.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Quitter.
A person who gives up easily or does not have the determination to finish what they have started.
Examples:
Easy quitter. Serial quitter. He was labeled as a quitter after he abandoned the project halfway.
Opposition.
The act of disagreeing or resisting, the state of strong disagreement.
Examples:
Opposition campaign. Meet with opposition. The opposition party strongly disagreed with the government's proposed legislation.
Pigeon.
A stout-bodied bird with a small head, short legs, and a short, cooing call, typically found in cities and domesticated for food.
Examples:
A racing pigeon. Pigeon on the roof. The pigeon perched on the windowsill, pecking at the breadcrumbs left for it.
Launch.
To send or propel something into the air or space using a device such as a rocket, missile, or spacecraft, to make something available or on sale for the first time.
Examples:
Launch a spaceship into orbit. Launch a big attack. The company is set to launch its new product line next month.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Apparently.
Based on what you have heard or read.
Examples:
Apparently simple. Apparently unrelated. The police apparently believed this explanation was plausible.
Retirement.
The fact or act of stopping working and leaving one's job.
Examples:
Retirement from politics. Impending retirement. This fund is responsible for disability and retirement benefits.
Spat.
A minor quarrel or dispute, often one that is short-lived or insignificant, a sudden burst of activity or energy, a young oyster, clam, or other bivalves that has recently attached itself to a surface in its natural habitat.
Examples:
Minor spat. Clean up the spat. The spat between the two neighbors escalated into a heated argument.
Biography.
The story of a person's life written by someone else.
Examples:
Biography of an actor. Medical biography. This is a well-recorded biography.
Indirectly.
Not going straight to the point, implying or suggesting something.
Examples:
Indirectly related. Indirectly impact. The CEO indirectly expressed her disappointment with the project's progress.
Folk.
People in general, especially those of a particular group or type.
Examples:
Folk art. The folk songs of a particular district. Some seaweed was used as folk medicine in ancient times.
Stick.
To put something, usually a sharp object, into something, noun, a thin piece of wood or other material.
Examples:
Stick a key in a lock. Fire stick. You stick a bill in the change machine, and the coins pop out.
Ignore.
To intentionally not listen or pay attention to.
Examples:
Ignore her advice. Ignore a ban. Since independence, the area has been completely ignored.
Specifically.
Only associated with or meant for one thing.
Examples:
Designed specifically for men. For specifically American customers. This ad campaign is aimed specifically at young women.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Craft.
An activity that requires a particular skill in making things with one's hands.
Examples:
Craft arts of Japan. Craft manufacture. His hometown was where he first acquired the craft of wood carving.
Communicate.
To share or exchange information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals.
Examples:
Communicate his anxieties to the psychiatrist. Communicate well with my advisor. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other.
Entertainment.
Public shows, films, television, or other performances or activities of enjoying people.
Examples:
An elegant entertainment. Hour of entertainment. The hotel is famous for its entertainment, including the casino.
Charm.
The power or quality of pleasing or fascinating people.
Examples:
Masculine charm. Charm against bad luck. These are significantly more exquisite than typical charm bracelets.
Disarm.
To remove weapons or the means of attack from a person, group, or situation. To win over or reduce suspicion or hostility from an opponent or adversary.
Examples:
Disarm opponents. Disarm a bomb. The police were able to disarm the suspect without any violence.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Offset.
To compensate for or counterbalance one influence against an opposing influence.
Examples:
Offset deposits and withdrawals. Offset a loss. Strong growth in core business offsets losses in other business segments.
Routine.
A usual or habitual way of doing things, a set sequence of steps, part of a larger computer program.
Examples:
Routine business. A built-in diagnostic routine. She studies gardening on a routine basis.
Abuse.
The use of something in an incorrect or harmful manner.
Examples:
The problem of drug abuse. Victim of sexual abuse. Our company has an audit team that monitors directors for abuse of authority.
Masculine.
Having characteristics or an appearance that are usually regarded as typical or appropriate for men.
Examples:
Wear masculine attire. Masculine beauty. Her allure lies in her masculine rather than feminine beauty.
Shift.
A slight transition in position, direction, or trend.
Examples:
Doppler shift. Major paradigm shift. Could you help me shift some furniture?
Gear.
A toothed wheel that engages another toothed mechanism to change the speed or direction of transmitted motion, a set of tools, equipment, or other items for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Sports gear. A gear change lever. She checked her gear before embarking on the hike.
Surround.
To be all around something or somebody.
Examples:
Surround a town. A stone wall surrounds the palace. On 3 sides, mountains surround the settlement.
Matriarch.
A woman who is the head of a family or social group, a woman who is the founder or dominant member of a group.
Examples:
Ruled by a matriarch. Matriarch figure. The matriarch of the family was known for her wisdom and guidance.
Cocoon.
A protective covering spun by some insects and other invertebrates.
Examples:
Cocoon silk. A dried cocoon. The caterpillar spins a cocoon around itself before turning into a butterfly.
Anecdote.
A short and amusing or interesting story about a real incident or person.
Examples:
Personal anecdote. Funny anecdote. She entertained the guests with anecdotes about her travels and experiences.
Embellish.
To make something more beautiful, interesting, or attractive by adding decorative details or features, To exaggerate or enhance the truth or significance of something.
Examples:
Embellish a story. Embellish a room. I decided to embellish the plain white dress with some colorful accessories.
Amusement.
The state or experience of finding something humorous or entertaining.
Examples:
Amusement quarters. Source of amusement. We went to the amusement park and rode roller coasters all day.
Articulate.
To express oneself clearly and effectively in spoken or written language.
Examples:
Articulate his position. Eloquently articulate. She was able to articulate her argument in the debate clearly.
Anxiety.
A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something that is happening or might happen in the future.
Examples:
Diagnosis of anxiety disorder. Anxiety for knowledge. She waited for her daughter with anxiety.
Carve.
To create something by cutting wood or stone, to turn sharply.
Examples:
Carve a statue. Carve my name on the plate. This statue is carved from a single tree trunk.
Comfort.
A state of physical ease and freedom from pain or constraint.
Examples:
Words of comfort. Comfort level. He found comfort in the warm embrace of his loved ones.
Overwhelming.
Very great or intense, so powerful that you cannot fight or react against it.
Examples:
Overwhelming majority. An overwhelming victory. He has shown signs of uneasiness and overwhelming worry.
Negotiate.
To have formal discussions with someone to reach an agreement.
Examples:
Negotiate a settlement. Negotiate the price of the house. We are always happy to negotiate a discount.
Gay.
Homosexual, happy, carefree.
Examples:
Gay couple. Gay rights. The Gay Pride Parade was a celebration of diversity and acceptance.
Nowhere.
Not in, at, or to any place, not anywhere.
Examples:
Nowhere else to go. Come out of nowhere. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere.
Conscious.
Being aware of and able to respond to what is happening around you.
Examples:
Conscious effort. Conscious of having succeeded. He became conscious that he was being followed.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Finite.
Having a limit or restriction of size, time, etc.
Examples:
Finite resources. Finite decimal. Human beings have a finite lifespan, so we yearned for the idea of immortality.
Witness.
A person who sees something happen, especially a crime or an accident.
Examples:
Witness of the car accident. A material witness. The manufacturing industry is witnessing fierce competition.
Taper.
To become or cause something to become gradually narrower at one end.
Examples:
Taper the medication slowly. Taper the dose down. Most of the tree trunks taper toward the top.
Inevitable.
Certain to happen and unavoidable.
Examples:
Inevitable changes of the seasons. Inevitable result. In times of recession, an increase in unemployment is inevitable.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Homosexual.
Sexually attracted to people of one's own sex.
Examples:
Homosexual rights. Homosexual marriage. The law was repealed to protect the rights of homosexual citizens.
Illegal.
Not allowed by law.
Examples:
Illegal drugs. Child of illegal immigrants. The customs agents seized the illegal shipment.
Tight.
Fixed, fastened, or kept together firmly or closely.
Examples:
A tight game. Student on a tight budget. The national election was held amid tight security.
Wrap.
To cover or enclose something entirely with paper, cloth, or other material.
Examples:
Wrap a fish in foil. Wrap up a meeting. Wrap the bandage tightly around the injured arm.
Tendril.
A slender, coiling, or twisting stem or strand of a climbing plant, typically used for support or attachment. Any thin, curling, or twisting feature that resembles a plant tendril in shape or function.
Examples:
Tendril of hair. Creeping tendril. The plant's delicate tendril curled around the trellis as it began to climb.
Intern.
To put someone in prison, especially for political or military reasons. Noun, a student or trainee who works, sometimes for free, to get work experience or to fulfill qualification criteria.
Examples:
Intern civilians, medical intern. The Navy interned ships of defeated nations.
Sham.
Something that is not as good or true as it seems to be and is intended to deceive people, a person who pretends to be something they are not.
Examples:
A sham battle. Turn out to be all sham. The data he prepared was completely sham.
Trauma.
An emotional wound or shock often has long-lasting effects caused by a highly upsetting or shocking experience.
Examples:
Psychic trauma, trauma care. Many civilians have suffered trauma as a result of the war.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Rap.
A type of music characterized by a strong, repetitive beat and lyrics that often focus on social and political issues, a reproach for some lapse or misdeed.
Examples:
Rap music. Get a rap. The new rap album is getting a lot of attention.
Cluster.
A group of similar things or people close together, often forming a distinct mass or unit.
Examples:
Live in a cluster. A cluster of stars. A cluster of grapes hung from the vine.
Akin.
Similar or related in nature, character, or origin.
Examples:
Akin to anger. Akin to the prior experiences. Her interests are akin to mine.
Trait.
A particular feature of your nature.
Examples:
Chemical trait. Personality traits. Multiple genes may influence behavioral traits concurrently.
Humor.
The quality of being amusing or funny, the liquid parts of the body.
Examples:
Sardonic humor. Vitreous humor. My wife seems to be in ill humor.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Branch.
A division of a tree or woody shrub that grows out from the trunk or a main stem, a division of some larger or more complex organization.
Examples:
branch office, a branch pipe. The branch of the tree had fallen and blocked the road.
Entirely.
Completely.
Examples:
entirely satisfied with the meal. He was entirely to blame. Later, his claim was found to be entirely false.
Trunk.
The main stem or body of a tree which its branches grow.
Examples:
the trunk of the tree, the trunk of the body. Destructive fungi thrive in moist environments, such as those seen in wounds on the trunk.
Intense.
Especially of a feeling, very strong, extremely sharp or severe.
Examples:
intense heat. Develop intense itching. That statement by the Prime Minister drew intense international criticism.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Scatter.
To cause to separate and go in different directions.
Examples:
scatter seeds. Scatter around the internet. The hunter's approach scattered the geese.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Linear.
Of, relating to, or consisting of lines or length, able to be expressed as a straight line, especially on a graph.
Examples:
linear trend. A linear equation. People tend to make linear predictions.
Visual.
Relating to seeing or sight.
Examples:
visual navigation. Field of visual arts. The building makes a remarkable visual impact.
Photograph.
A picture or image that is produced by a camera, a visual representation or record of a person, object, or scene that has been captured electronically or on film.
Examples:
Photograph album. Photograph memories. I found an old photograph of my grandparents from their wedding day.
Static.
Not moving or not capable of moving, not changing or not capable of changing.
Examples:
Static electricity. Static website. The static image on the screen took a lot of work to make out.
Hieroglyph.
A writing system using picture symbols, such as the one used in ancient Egypt.
Examples:
Egyptian hieroglyph. The hieroglyph of the bird. Each beautiful hieroglyph represents either an idea or a sound.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Fluent.
Able to communicate in a specific language smoothly or effectively or easily.
Examples:
Fluent Chinese. In a fluent tone. She learned 5 languages, but is only fluent in 2 of them.
Struggle.
To make a great effort to do something when it is difficult, or there are a lot of problems, to use force or violence to break away from restraint or constriction.
Examples:
Struggle against discrimination. Struggle to get the job. He could not struggle against temptation.
Translate.
To convert or change words into another language.
Examples:
Translate a document into English. Translate the emotion to a movement. Translate the text from Italian into English.
Sculpt.
To create a work of art by carving, casting, or other shaping techniques.
Examples:
Sculpt an image. Sculpt prototype. He spent hours every day sculpting figures out of clay.
Haberdasher.
A store that sells small articles used in sewings, such as buttons, zippers, and thread. A shop that sells men's furnishings like hats, gloves, ties, and accessories.
Examples:
Vintage haberdashery. Traditional haberdashery items. She spent the afternoon browsing in the haberdashery department of the large store.
Tortuous.
Full of twists and turns, not direct or straightforward, excessively complicated.
Examples:
Tortuous road. Tortuous path. The hiker had a difficult time navigating the tortuous mountain trail.
Inadequate.
Not sufficient or enough.
Examples:
An inadequate income. Inadequate funding. The small budget was inadequate to cover all the necessary expenses for the project.
Frame.
A strong border or structure of the wood, metal, etc. that surrounds something such as a picture, door, or window.
Examples:
A picture frame. The frame of the policy. The detective looked for fingerprints on the window frame.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Autism.
A developmental disorder characterized by difficulties in social interaction, verbal and nonverbal communication.
Examples:
High-functioning autism. Autism spectrum disorder. There is no cure for autism, but early intervention and therapy can improve outcomes for individuals with the condition.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Depressed.
Sad and without any hope.
Examples:
Depressed feeling. The market is depressed. After his mother died, he got depressed.
Anxious.
Worried and nervous.
Examples:
Anxious about his health. An anxious look. He cast anxious glances behind her.
Spectrum.
An ordered array of colors into which a light beam can be split.
Examples:
A broad spectrum of opinion. Infrared spectrum. This device displayed the speech spectrum spectrographically.
Calm.
Not excited, angry, or nervous, free from wind, large waves.
Examples:
Calm sea. Calm manner. It was the first time in a long time that I felt truly calm and at peace.
Repetition.
The act of doing or saying something many times.
Examples:
Repetition of the word. Habitual repetition. Repetition is the mother of all learning.
Obsessive.
Relating to or characterized by an obsession or excessive interest in a particular thing or activity, tending to dwell on or repeat certain thoughts or behaviors.
Examples:
Obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive thoughts. Her obsessive behavior towards perfectionism often led to burnout.
Doorway.
An opening in a wall for a door to fit into.
Examples:
A wide doorway. Doorway to success. He leaned against the doorway, waiting for her to come home.
Proof.
A fact or piece of information that shows something is true or exists.
Examples:
Documentary proof. A geometric proof. Proof is better than argument.
Neurodiversity.
The concept that neurological differences, such as autism or ADHD, are a natural and valuable part of human diversity rather than a disorder or deficiency to be fixed.
Examples:
Neurodiversity Conference. Neurodiversity spectrum. The concept of neurodiversity celebrates the different ways that people's brains work.
Scare.
To frighten a person or animal, or to become frightened.
Examples:
Scare off her attacker by screaming. Scare the birds away. We hit the ground to scare out the rabbits.
Hell.
The place thought to be where bad people go and are punished after death, often depicted as being located beneath the earth, an extraordinarily unpleasant or difficult place.
Examples:
Run like hell. Hell broke loose. The battlefield became hell on earth.
Framework.
The structural components of a building or object that support its weight and give it form, the underlying structure of a system, concept, or text.
Examples:
Legal framework. The framework of a house. He devised a new analytical framework to capture the phenomenon.
Misfit.
A person who does not fit in with others or with society, especially because their behavior is strange or unusual.
Examples:
Social misfit. Corporate misfit. He felt like a misfit in his new school.
Suddenly.
Quickly and unexpectedly.
Examples:
Suddenly attacked by an enemy. Die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little.
Giddy.
Feeling dizzy or lightheaded, inclined to be easily excited or amused, lacking seriousness or stability.
Examples:
Giddy with excitement. A giddy ride. The roller coaster ride left her feeling giddy and disoriented.
Newfound.
Newly discovered or acquired.
Examples:
A newfound mine. Newfound freedom. With his newfound wealth, he could travel the world and indulge in his passions.
Confidence.
The feeling or attitude that one can trust or rely on the abilities or good qualities of someone or something.
Examples:
Competence as a teacher. Boost my confidence. Skill and competence are an unconquered army.
Dive.
To jump into the water with your head and arms going in first, or to move down to a deeper level underwater.
Examples:
Dive into anime communities. Dive off a cliff. The sperm whale can dive to 1,000 meters.
Grieve.
To feel or show great sadness or sorrow, especially for someone who has died.
Examples:
Grieve for loss. Grieve at the sad news. She grieved the loss of her parents.
Grief.
A very great sadness, especially when somebody dies.
Examples:
Have grief and sorrow. A lot of grief. Each person has a unique grief experience.
Clarity.
The quality of being coherent and understandable, the quality of transparency or purity.
Examples:
Lack of clarity. Sake of clarity. The publisher will proofread most of this manuscript for clarity.
Profoundly.
To a great or complete degree, deeply.
Examples:
Profoundly insightful. Sleep profoundly. The novel affected her profoundly, causing her to question her beliefs and values.
Isolate.
To physically or socially separate someone or something from other people or things.
Examples:
Isolate a compound. Isolate a patient. You should not isolate them from the community.
Untangle.
To separate or straighten out something that is tangled, confused, or complicated, to clarify or make sense of something difficult to understand or explain.
Examples:
Untangle a situation. Untangle a problem. I need to untangle this knot before using this rope piece.
Cohesive.
Causing cohesion, bringing people or things together.
Examples:
Cohesive ability. Highly cohesive group. He skillfully combines these fragments into a cohesive whole.
Narrative.
A story or a description of a series of events or process of telling a story.
Examples:
Narrative poetry. Personal narrative. The narrative handles multiple plot lines and has unpredictable ends.
Sting.
To cause a sharp, painful sensation or injury with a poison, venom, or other substance or by a physical action, such as a bite or prick.
Examples:
Sting me on the arm. Sting his face. Bees sting as a defense mechanism when they feel threatened.
Trim.
To make neat or tidy by clipping, cutting, or pruning away excess or unwanted parts. To adjust or modify to improve efficiency or performance.
Examples:
Trim a dog's nails. Trim the budget. I must trim the bushes in my front yard before they get too overgrown.
Disconnect.
To unfasten or disjoin something, especially to break the connection between a supply of gas, water, or electricity and a piece of equipment.
Examples:
Disconnect a plug. Disconnect the water supply. She finally decided to disconnect herself from the company.
Visceral.
Relating to or affecting the internal organs, instinctive or emotional rather than rational, characterized by deep-seated emotional reactions or responses.
Examples:
Visceral organ. Visceral fear. After watching the horror movie, she had a visceral reaction and couldn't sleep all night.
Punchline.
The final sentence or phrase in a joke, which is intended to be funny or surprising and to bring the joke to a climax.
Examples:
Have no punchline. The final punchline. The punchline of the joke was hilarious.
Punch.
To strike someone or something with one's fist, to make a hole in something.
Examples:
Punch out numbers. Punch a ticket. He punched the wall in anger.
Tickle.
To lightly touch a sensitive part of somebody's body in a way that makes them laugh.
Examples:
Tickle his ribs. Tickle her vanity. These models explain why you can't tickle yourself.
Metaphor.
A figure of speech in which an expression is used to refer to something that it does not denote to suggest a similarity.
Examples:
Metaphor for death. Visual metaphor. She expressed her thought in an artful choice of metaphors.
Gutsy.
Displaying courage, determination, or boldness, characterized by a willingness to take risks or face challenges.
Examples:
Gutsy move. Gutsy performance. It was gutsy to quit her job and start her own business.
Breath.
The air that is taken into and expelled from your lungs. The process of taking into and expelling air from your lungs.
Examples:
Hold your breath. Breath of wind. He bated his breath when talking about this affair.
Shock.
A strong feeling or physical reaction to a sudden and unexpected event or experience, especially something unpleasant.
Examples:
Death from shock. Shock resistant. He got an electric shock at work.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples.
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Mindless.
Lacking in awareness, thought, or attention, done without thinking or consideration, pointless or empty-headed.
Examples.
Mindless task. Mindless entertainment. Mindless scrolling on social media can be a time waster.
Mob.
A large and disorderly crowd of people, a large horde of animals.
Examples.
Mob psychology. Mob violence. The excited mob was getting out of control at the concert.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples.
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Definitely.
Without any question and beyond doubt, clearly.
Examples.
Definitely become a problem. Say definitely. The paper is definitely worth reading thoroughly.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples.
A blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Know-how.
Practical knowledge, skills, or experience in a particular field or area, often acquired through personal experience or training.
Examples.
Know-how transfer. Share know-how. Her culinary know-how helped her create an impressive menu for the party.
Flaccid.
Lacking firmness or stiffness, weak or ineffective, lacking energy or force.
Examples.
Flaccid economy. Flaccid response. The patient's muscles were so weak that they felt completely flaccid when the doctor examined them.
Rebuild.
To build again or anew.
Examples.
Rebuild a company. Rebuild communities. They are planning to rebuild the house after the fire.
Reshape.
To change the form or structure of something.
Examples.
Reshape education policy. Reshape my thoughts. The advent of the Internet completely reshaped the manufacturing industry.
Reform.
The act of improving or correcting something wrong or bad. Verb, to make a change in something to correct a flaw or improve it.
Examples:
Economic reform. Reform movement. The government is proposing a reform to the healthcare system to make it more accessible and affordable for all citizens.
Vague.
Not clearly expressed or understood.
Examples:
Vague idea. Make a vague answer. The vague rumor turned out to be false.
Pretended.
Feigned or not genuine, assumed or simulated.
Examples:
Pretended illness. Make a pretended purchase. His pretended interest soon caught everyone's attention.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Purity.
The state of being undiluted or unmixed with anything else, the state of being free from immorality, especially of a sexual nature.
Examples:
The degree of purity. High purity. Higher purity requires additional equipment and energy.
Misdirect.
To give someone the wrong order, information, etc. To send someone or something to the wrong place or wrong direction.
Examples:
Misdirect my anger. Misdirect the letter. I believe this analysis is misdirected to some extent.
Giggle.
To laugh lightly and repeatedly in a silly, nervous, or childlike way.
Examples:
Giggle like a child. Giggle uncontrollably. When we saw the animals at the zoo playfully chasing each other, we all started to giggle.
Truism.
A statement or proposition that is true and does not require proof or elaboration, an overused or cliché expression that has become void of meaning.
Examples:
Truism of life. Economic truism. It's a truism that practice makes perfect.
Contract.
A legally binding agreement between two or more parties, setting out their rights and obligations to each other, typically in writing and enforceable by law.
Examples:
Employment contract. Contract law. The company signed a contract with the supplier for the delivery of goods.
Margin.
The space around the edge of a page or document. Finance, the net sales minus the cost of goods and services sold.
Examples:
Margin error. A profit margin. Unfortunately, the book's margin was too small to make notes.
Unstage.
Onto or on a stage in a theater, in front of an audience.
Examples:
Appeared on stage. Walk on stage. He performed his magic trick on stage, leaving the audience in awe.
Advance.
To go or move forward, to develop in a positive way.
Examples:
Advance the technology. Advance a cooperative relationship. Scientific knowledge will advance significantly with the power of AI.
Strict.
Strongly limiting someone's freedom, allowing no deviation from a standard, rule, belief, etc.
Examples:
Strict compliance regime. In strict secrecy. Too strict a regulation for the private sector will stifle innovation.
Recite.
To say a poem, piece of literature, etc. aloud from memory.
Examples:
Recite a charm. Recite a long list of the article. He could recite all of Shakespeare's works.
Genuine.
Real and exactly, not pretended, sincerely felt or expressed.
Examples:
A genuine article. Show genuine regret. Is this painting genuine or forged?